What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to From the Top Rope with Andrew Crawford. I'm your boy Andrew Crawford, not the GOAT, but I look like a GOAT. Close enough, am I right? I think I'm right. And today on the channel, I say today because it's actually daytime when I'm recording a video for once. It's 12:30, April 16th, 2026, and usually I don't care about the dates, but I would like it to be known that this is the Thursday before WrestleMania. I don't know if there might be like another surprise match announced for tomorrow SmackDown. Like, I don't. So, this is just the card I've been dealt. This is the card I'll be predicting. The WrestleMania card. I'm so excited for this because wrestling, as you know, if you've been on this channel for a while, it is probably one of the biggest passions in my life I've ever had, if not the biggest. You know, in college, I was doing my public speaking class. Um, and in my introductory speech, which is basically we went up there and yapped about ourselves, I made the joke and I said, if my future wife, for whatever reason, is in this class, I love wrestling more than you. Spoiler alert, she was not in that class. I don't know. I don't have a wife. I'm a very. Yeah, anyways. Um, you know, but yeah, that's just how much I love wrestling. Like, it is one of the most important things in my life. I love it like no one's business. And WrestleMania is the equivalent of my Super Bowl. It is the most important night on the professional wrestling calendar. Um, it's March Madness. It's the NBA Finals. Like, it's the be all end all of professional wrestling. It's the most important thing in pro wrestling is WrestleMania. And we are on 42 for the second year in a row in Vegas. Now let's predict the match card. I'll talk about builds. I'll talk about, what matches I think are going to deliver, what matches I think are going to over deliver because of a crappy build that might include an NFL punter. Let's talk about it. Before we predict the WrestleMania match card, two things got to happen. You got to like, share, and subscribe. I've got to take a sip of this Gatorade to keep you hydrated. Health is wealth in 2026. Still not my favorite flavor. First match on the card for Saturday night, a six-man tag team match featuring the Usos and LA Knight versus Austin Theory, Speed, and Logan Paul. Now, I won't lie, this match did not excite me whenever I heard about it, but then I remembered Speed is a freak athlete. I remembered Logan Paul is a phenomenal professional wrestler. I remembered Austin Theory's phenomenal. I remembered the Usos are arguably the greatest tag team of all time. And I realized LA Knight is one of the most over, if not the most over wrestlers on the entire roster. This is going to be a good match for the sheer idiocy that'll happen. Because sometimes stupid stuff in wrestling is fun. Other times it's not. I'll get into that later. But this, I feel like it's going to be one of those times where the stupidity of professional wrestling is going to be great. I think Speed is going to take a 1D, which I'm very excited for. I think the Usos and Knight win, unless they want to go the celebrity wins route, which would be fine because I love Logan Paul. I think he's a great wrestler. Theory's a great wrestler, and it would be fun for Speed. Like, I'm all for whoever, but I feel like they might not do the celebrity wins route because of another match that I'm begrudgingly going to be talking about. The second match on the card will be Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre in an unsanctioned match. Now, an unsanctioned match is basically a hardcore match. Like, anything goes, no rules, you know, it's that. It's like, I don't care that they didn't call it a hardcore match, but like, an unsanctioned match is one, but like, for the storyline, they're like, WWE cannot be held responsible for injuries sustained in this match because the feud is so personal. which makes sense for Drew and Jacob, and I'm very excited for it, and it's going to be a fun match. Um, this build, I felt like it was going to be different and lead to something different for both these guys. I felt like it was going to lead to Drew, Jacob, Cody, Randy, Fatal 4-Way for the title. Um, it didn't. I'm not mad about it because I think Drew and Jacob are going to kill it. They're going to put on one of the best matches of the weekend. I'm confident in it. I'm going to predict Jacob Fatu wins, and then they finally find a way to weasel him into the title picture because Jacob Fatu is. He was ready the day he stepped into the WWE. And so I think they're going to use this as kind of a catalyst and a catapult to get him there. Up next, we have the women's tag team title fatal 4-way match featuring Lyra Valkyria and Bayley, Lash Legend and Nia Jax, the Bella Twins, and Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Now, this match, I could care less about. They have actually built it pretty well. Um, between all the interferences in matches, all the title changing hands randomly. Like, they've done pretty well about it. I'm just not excited because you have so many single stars in the women's tag division, and it really irritates me. I'm happy Rhea and Io got out of that, even though it does mean Io will not be on the Mania card, which sucks. But I don't care about this match. I know that all 6 of these 8 women are capable of great things in the ring. Um, I'm predicting the champions to retain Lash and Nia. It just feels logical. They just won the titles. The only other logical one would be Bayley and Lyra. I don't see them doing that though for whatever reason. Bayley is probably the worst handled of the 4 horsewomen, and that goes for Sasha Banks as well, who is no longer even with the company. But yeah, Lash and Nia retain. Next, we have Seth freaking Rollins versus the Ring General, the career killer, Gunther. This match, I feel like, is literally only happening for the fact of getting Gunther and Brock at SummerSlam and Brock's retirement match. And Brock and Gunther's a dream match of mine, so I can accept this. Um, because Braun Breaker, they didn't know if he was going to be medically cleared, and I'm sure they want a longer build for the proper match between Seth and Braun, and I'm all for it. I completely am all for a better build for that match because that match deserves a better build. It's probably going to be the best feud of 2026. I'm making a bold prediction, I know. But Gunther literally told Paul, because I'm doing this, you owe me more than a favor. More than a favor, obviously, kind of feels like I want your boy at SummerSlam. I want to fight Brock at SummerSlam. And I'm all for it because Gunther and Brock are 2 massive individuals and they are going to kill each other and it's going to be a fun match. As for my prediction for this match, maybe Braun does come back, he screws Seth, and then we get, like I said, Gunther Brock at SummerSlam, Seth and Braun at SummerSlam, and you already have 2 of the top matches for SummerSlam announced and done. And I'm fine with that. I'm very excited. Like, these are 2 great bell to bell wrestlers, and they're gonna have a great bell to bell match, and I'm very excited. For the Women's Intercontinental Championship, AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. This match has been. This build has been fine. I kind of wish the champion going in was different, so I was more sure of who was going to win. Because if Becky had retained at Elimination Chamber, AJ finds her way into the match at Mania, and AJ gets the Mania moment. Done, clean, simple. Instead, AJ's the champion going into this match, having won at Chamber, and so now I'm kind of perplexed. I don't know who's going to win. Maybe Becky finally gets finally gets one over on AJ. Maybe AJ retains, and just it's a joke of Becky's not good enough to be in the ring with AJ Lee. I really don't know where they're going to go. I feel like my first outcome's more likely. I feel like Becky's going to get the win finally and regain the Intercontinental title. And maybe AJ goes on a hiatus for a while. Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know, but I'm just going to say Becky. For the Women's World Heavyweight Championship, it will be Stephanie Vaquer versus Liv Morgan. Now, this build has been way better than I thought it would be. They have not been given near the TV time of other builds, but they have made the most of their build as opposed to others who have been given great builds but not made the most of those, have been given plenty of time for their build but not made the most of it. Um, but Liv and Stephanie have been the opposite, not given a lot of time on their as far as TV time, and they've made the most with their build. They've made it deeply personal. They've made it entertaining for me. I'm very excited for this match. But of course I am. I'm a Liv Morgan diehard. I've been a fan of her since I was 16. I'm 26. You do the math. Um, I think this match is going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. Maybe, you tell the story Stephanie overcomes the Judgment Day numbers game, retains. Maybe you tell the story of Stephanie gives it her all. She looks great. Numbers game is too much. Liv is world champion. Those are the two routes you can obviously take. I'm going to go with the latter, and I'm going to pick Liv Morgan to win the Women's World title. Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. A story so simple. I could have given my friend Alex, who hates wrestling, the history of Randy and Cody. Just, break down the history, legacy, all that mess. And Alex could have wrote this story. But no. Someone at TKO insisted, what if we had, the legendary NFL punter Pat McAfee involved in the storyline? And why? Of all the stories you could have shoehorned a celebrity into, you pick a story that writes itself. A story that a monkey with a typewriter could have made. It makes no sense to me. This build has went from Randy's awesome heel turn to the Pat McAfee shenanigans, and it makes me very mad. I love Pat McAfee. I'm actually happy Pat's back. He's even giving the right message, but it's the wrong messenger, the wrong story to be involved in. I can't stand it. However, I do think the match will still deliver because Cody and Randy Orton, hello, it's two great professional wrestlers having a WWE title match in the main event of night one of the biggest show of the year. I feel like it will deliver, and I'm going to predict Randy Orton to walk out of there a 15-time world champion. On to Sunday night's card, Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar. The second Brock eliminated Oba, I said, am I getting this at Mania? And then Brock does the open challenge thing, and then Brock comes out and he's staring Seth Rollins down. I'm like, no, you were so close. And then Oba's music hits. Oba has punked out Brock every single week. I am looking so forward to this match. This is the dominant wrestler of the Ruthless Aggression era versus the dominant wrestler of the future. This is the beast of the Ruthless Aggression era versus the ruler of the WWE today. This match needs to be about 10 minutes max. Needs to be a finisher fest. Oba needs to kick out of an F5 at 1 and win. Oba is the literal future. Do you know how easy it would be to give Oba the rocket? Just strap a rocket and push him to the moon just off his capability alone, but you give him this win over Lesnar, hello. Like, literally, Oba should beat Brock, win King of the Ring, face the world champion at SummerSlam, whoever that may be, win the title. Like, that is how ready Oba is. Oba's world title ready right now. And I'm here for it. The second match on WrestleMania Sunday, which I love car crash matches. Penta versus Rey Mysterio versus JD McDonough versus Dragon Lee versus Rusev versus the young OG Javon Evans for the Intercontinental Championship in a ladder match. A multi-man ladder match at WrestleMania for the first time since, was it 33? Like, was it the Hardys' return? And if that's the case, it's been 9 years since we got a multi-man ladder match at Mania. No, there was one during the COVID. It was like the triple threat match for the tag titles, but it was one representative from the team apiece. It was really weird. We did have that. So it's still 6 years. That's still a while. I'm so excited for this match. I don't care who wins. Like, obviously, like, you know, let WrestleMania get a little bouncy, let Javon Evans, like, have a huge moment. I don't know if I see him doing it because Penta literally just won the title the Monday Night Raw after Elimination Chamber, so he's not had the longest time with it. But at the same time, like, this would be huge because it would be cementing another new star off rip with Javon Evans winning the Intercontinental title in his Mania debut, making him the youngest Intercontinental champion of all time at 21. He just turned old enough to buy alcohol. I'm here for it. I'm down with Javon winning. I'm hoping he does, but my gut's telling me Penta. So, Penta, gonna retain. But I want it to be Javon. Like, if Javon wins, y'all gonna see me on the channel. I'm gonna be lit. I'm gonna be hype. I'm gonna be bouncy. I'm joking. I have zero vertical, but I'm very excited for this match. Dominic Mysterio versus Finn Balor. I'm excited for this. I'm always excited for Finn because Finn is bell to bell, maybe the one of the best of a generation. He is fantastic. He's bringing out the demon gimmick, which is awesome. And Dom has rapidly improved, and it makes me mad because I want to call him a Nepo baby, but he's not a Nepo baby. Like, not at all. I think this match is going to be great. I think the Demon kind of gets his mojo back, wins the match, beats Dom. And I'm here for it. Maybe let 2026 be the year of Balor. Let Balor go on an incredible babyface run and maybe at some point win some gold. I'm just saying. Couldn't hurt. But I'm excited for this match. I'm gonna predict Finn to win. And like I said, I'm very excited for this match. Like, genuinely, the second it was announced, I was like, "Ooh, Finn and Dom." And then the second Finn announced the Demon's back, I'm like, "Oh, here we go." And so, like, yeah, Finn and Dom, I'm very excited for. Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill. What could have been? Jade has had a less than superior run with the women's title. This build has felt very weird. Jade has recruited BFAB and Michin into the storyline, who are two people she has eviscerated on TV multiple times. EO's gotten involved. It just feels kind of jumbled. It feels like WWE's like, oh, what can we do? And, like, it's not been a good build. Jade's run has been lackluster. If it would have been better, then maybe I'm excited because two women hosses having a banger match. Like, I'd be awesome with that. I'm gonna predict Rhea to win. Um, I love Rhea. Um, she is my favorite Australian professional wrestler of all time and my second favorite Australian ever. I think Keith Urban's Australian. Keith Urban's my favorite country singer of all time. But yeah, Rhea beats Jade, wins the title. Um, and I'm not even gonna be mad when she does. Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams for the United States title. Now, a lot of people are mad that Sammy beat Mello. And I get it. I want Mello on the Mania card too. I love Carmelo Hayes. But I feel like it would have done somehow more damage for Mello to lose to Trick than it will for Sammy to lose to Trick. And that's because of WrestleMania being in Saudi Arabia next year. I feel like WWE's finally going to give Sammy his world title win at Mania in Saudi. And I'm fine with that. Um, so he can handle the loss to Trick Williams. I think Trick is going to win the U.S. title. I think that Trick has everything it will take to be this generation of wrestlers Booker T, to be an icon, to be a legend. Like I really got that faith in Trick. And this is the third time I'm gonna say they could make a mega star off of it by letting Trick beat a man whose main event at WrestleMania was involved in one of the most important storylines in WWE's recent history, maybe ever. Um, a former Intercontinental Champion, the U.S. Champion, a man who's one title away from a Grand Slam, like Trick beating Sammy will be awesome. And if Trick wins the U.S. title, whoop that Trick. I'm lit. The only way they can ruin this match is Sammy winning. That is my opinion. Like, the only way they ruin this match is Sammy winning because I know it's going to be a good match. And maybe if it's a good enough match, I can be like, okay, yeah, go Sammy. Because I love Sammy. But I think Trick winning is the right call and the best call for this night. For the World Heavyweight Championship, Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Another build that has been lackluster to me. Maybe it's because, Roman's comeback to CM Punk saying, I'm going to bury you next to your father, was you're old. Maybe it's because Roman and Punk basically just admitted to each other on Raw, I hate you because I'm jealous of you. Like, this build has been so weird to me. Punk's biggest thing is Roman, you can't do it by yourself. Roman's biggest thing is, again, age. You don't look like a champion. They asked me to bring you back because we wanted to sell shirts. The build has been fine, and Punk and Roman have cut good promos. They've had good brawls. Maybe something's just been left to be desired by me, and I don't know what that is. But I know the match is going to deliver. Roman and Punk, it's two of the biggest stars of a generation. I'm very excited for this match, regardless of how bad the build has been or good the build has been. Um, I'm looking very forward to it. And give me the Tribal Chief. Because Oba wins King of the Ring, Oba beats Roman. That would, for Oba to beat Brock at Mania, beat Roman at SummerSlam, beat two megastars at two of the biggest shows the WWE has to offer, would be monumental, and you could push Oba to the moon. That is a huge chunk of the reason I'm wanting Roman to win. Am I sick of part-timers? Sure. Do I care? No, because Roman is a draw. It does not matter title or not. If Roman's advertised, people go and buy tickets. If they don't have to mortgage their house for the tickets. TKO, take notes. But no, Roman and Punk, I think they're going to kill it. I'm going to take the Tribal Chief. One's to the sky. Roman's going to win the title. And those are my WrestleMania predictions. What do you think will happen at the show of shows? What match do you think is going to steal the weekend? Um, what build have you enjoyed the most? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And in case you haven't been told this today, you matter, and you're important, and if you're going through it, stick around. You matter. And unlike John Cena, I can see you, and I will see you very soon.